That was good. That's pretty good. That's pretty
Not
good.
my best work.
Pumps, what have you had it with this week?
Okay, I've had it with something that I just learned the name of. I was describing to Kylie, why is my internet Instagram thing, every time I open it, it's like these women just eating this weird shit. And it's just every single time it's just reels. And I'm always like, what the fuck are they eating? And why are they eating so much? Blah, 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 blah. Well, it's called mukbang. Mukbang.
Mukbang?
Mukbang.
What does that mean?
It means eating weird shit on the internet, as far as I know. But yeah, it's gross. Do you not ever get that?
No.
It's this like beautiful girl that's just sitting there that's maybe 80, 90 pounds. I mean, teensy tiny.
Okay.
And it has all this weird shit she's eating.
Okay.
And it's just like one after the other, like a bite, a bite.
You know why this is probably happening to you? Because you're constantly browbeating me about not having snacks in the office.
This whole thing was created
and your
to torture you.
Your iPhone hears it.
Yes.
Snacking. So then it's giving you this algorithm of these, what are they called? What's it called?
Mukbang, Mukbang. And I think Kylie says that people like to watch other people eat on the internet. Which I think that's weird. Like, I get people want to watch people have sex, like porn. That seems okay, normal.
I mean, being the porn addict that you are.
Well, absolutely. Well, I'm a porn star. Excuse me.
Yes. Yeah, I totally see how that would be right in your wheelhouse.
But I'm just saying, like, of all the shit you can watch on the internet, you're going to watch somebody eat something weird?
And like when you say something weird, what are you talking about, a cricket or what how weird?
One of them was like an alive squid. Like, ate it while it was alive. It's weird.
It is weird.
I've never heard.
I haven't seen that, and I'm probably now going to because my phone's in the recording studio.
Right, and it's going to start coming on.
You just completely dicked me over.
Yes, sorry.
Yet again. You porn star dick over pumps.
Stormy pumps.
Let me tell you what I've had it with.
Okay, lay it on me.
I've had it with stupid advice. Okay, let me tell you one. So you'll be like at a wedding reception and the mother of the groom or the father of the bride will be like, I want to give you guys some advice.
Yes.
Never go to bed angry. Okay, number one, that is such bullshit, unrealistic. Anybody who says that they've never gone to bed mad at their significant other is a fucking liar, a lying liar to the most extreme. I mean, it's unbelievable how unrealistic of a goal that is.
Right.
And what unrealistic advice it is. Because sometimes you're angry because you're fucking tired.
Right. And
you know?
It has nothing to do with the other person.
And sometimes you need to sleep on it. Sometimes you can't resolve an issue in one night.
I would say more often than not, sleeping on it is better in any type of anger situation, not just marriage.
Right. Although you and I, for sure, in our heyday of having marital problems, would drag out the spouse.
Oh my gosh, for no reason.
For lots of reasons.
I mean, for lots of reasons, but in the moment, it was like we were mad about something that happened 4 days ago, and it just happened right then.
Get your ass out of bed and let's fucking dissect this. I'm mad. I want to talk.
Yes. Oh, I thought you meant to the spouse. Like wake up and start browbeating over something that happened a week earlier. I mean, I've done that too.
No, I'm talking about in the throes of marital problems.
Right.
Like I'm talking about rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic.
Yes.
The marriage is red alert.
It is imploded nuclear bomb style.
Multiple times.
Right.
I have woken up, hamster starts running in the brain about some, bullshit that happened. And I'm like, get your fucking ass up. I want to chew this up. I want to talk about it. And I want to talk about it this very second.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I just think that kind of advice for our younger listeners, you're going to go to bed at times mad at your spouse. It's just going to happen. They're going to go to bed mad at you sometimes.
Right.
It's just going to happen. It's human nature. We get mad. Time happens. Apologies happen. Therapy occurs. Sometimes people have to go to rehab. That's neither here nor there. And then, you can resolve things.
I have been to several weddings where they're like, what's your advice for the bride and groom? Like they're asking the guests.
That's so stupid.
My standard response is, you don't want mine. I have no marital advice to give.
I think that relationships are so unique to the couple. You know, for example, Jen and Neely like to sit on the same side of the booth.
Right.
I think that's stupid.
Right.
You think that's stupid. We've had it with that. But that is, you know,
Makes
something
them
they're
happy.
super into.
Right.
Well, I would like to welcome everybody to I've Had It podcast. I'm Jennifer.
I'm Angie.
We call her Pumps. And today we are going to talk about a very, very interesting subject for all women and men across this great country of ours. And I don't want to exclude the 3 to 4 international listeners we have. So Saudi Arabia, I'm talking to you. But we're talking about when you're in a relationship and your antennas go up and you know something's not right. Maybe your partner or your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend is looking at their phone a lot, but they're hiding their phone from you. And you're like, that's weird. He's keeping that phone in that pocket 24/7. He used to have it out. And then you confront the person, why are you being so weird about your phone? And then they kind of say, I'm not being weird about my phone. Why aren't you minding your own business? And all of a sudden, slowly this narrative starts to change, where something that was all accessible at all times out in the open, you start sensing these secrets. One could argue that perhaps you're being gaslit a little bit.
Right. We were gaslit before there was a name.
Yes. Pumps and I have horrible pickers when it comes to picking life partners.
Horrible.
We can teach a seminar on how not to pick a husband.
I agree. I think we should start a service for parents to hire us with their daughter's fiance. And if we like that person and give it a go, call off the wedding immediately.
Immediately, especially if Pumps like something.
Right. Yes. Or if I say, oh my gosh, absolutely not, do not marry.
Marry immediately.
Put a lasso on that motherfucker. Get him down to the courthouse. Marry him right then.
Yes.
Because I am 100% the worst picker. I probably should have been just taken out of the gene pool at birth. But
No,
I have the 3 greatest kids in the world. But I'm just saying, if you look at my track record.
well, I do want to insert this one caveat, listener, and it is that right now, and you've probably heard the episode with my magnificent husband, Josh, we are in a great space now, and we've been together 20 years, but we have gone to hell and back multiple times. And there have been instincts and instances in our marriage where my antennas were up and alert, and I thought something is amiss here. Something is fucking wrong here. He is fucking lying to me.
Right.
And then I confront him, and then I get more lies. And then what happens is your sanity gets questioned. You think, am I going crazy?
Right.
Or are my instincts correct? And for those of you that have been in this type of relationship before, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an alcoholic, it could be a narcissist, or, and let's just face it, people are kind of broken and messed up.
Right.
And a lot of this stuff comes to light when we partner with other people.
And live in the same house.
Yes, it all of these issues kind of come to the surface and they play themselves out. And I know this because I've spent an obscene amount of money on therapy.
Oh my gosh. Can you even imagine if we got a dollar amount on the therapy?
It's a lot.
Oh my gosh.
An embarrassing amount.
We could probably buy Twitter.
No. I don't think so. But I think that for those of you out there that find yourselves in a relationship and you know something's amiss, your antennas are up, and you're confronting the person about it, and they are circling back to you and telling you you're crazy. But I want everyone to know that, number one, you're not crazy. If your antennas consistently keep going up, though that instinct in our brain is telling us that something's not right. And then if you go to your significant other and they're telling you you're crazy, you genuinely start to feel crazy.
Right.
And some people go to great lengths to confirm their reality because their partner or their significant other isn't giving it to them.
Right.
They're not giving them the truth. They're not giving them the facts. And I'm going to give you a prime example. So when Pumps was married, we were suspicious that her husband was up to no good. So we decided we were going to do a reconnaissance trip. Okay. He was an attorney. And we go and scope out the office, right? And we're like, okay, so what we can do tomorrow is we can get our babysitter's car and we can go stake out across the street. And we look across the street and there is a closed down bank.
Right.
100% closed.
Right.
It's 100% closed. And we're like, perfect. We can back in there. We can see the parking lot.
Great view. Perfect view.
Perfect view. I don't know what we thought we were going to see other than lawyers walking in and out of a building. But at the time, it seemed like a rock solid idea.
Rock solid. And I wonder, what did the babysitter think when we were like, we need to take your car?
Right. That's neither here nor there.
Totally different story.
So we proceed the next day to put on baseball caps, sunglasses, and we wear black.
Right.
And we didn't plan that, but we both did. We get the babysitter's car. We go through the drive-through of Taco Bell, as most people that are conducting a reconnaissance trip do.
You've got to eat while you're on the lookout.
And we back into the bank that we had confirmed had closed down. So we had backed in to the bank and we start eating our Mexi Melts, our tacos, and our burritos.
Right.
Hot sauce is flying around the car. We see a man in a business suit exit the building, and then we see a man in a business suit enter the building. That's all we got.
That's all we got.
Okay. So we're eating, and we're like, adrenaline's pumping. We're waiting for the shoe to drop.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, Pumps goes, is this bank open?
I saw the light. And there was like, out of the corner of my eye, I saw the light, like a green light. And I was
like that the lane is open. So we turn around and there's a big drive-through bank window.
Huge plate glass window.
With tellers. Four tellers sitting there.
Like, what are they doing?
We're backed in. Our cars aren't going the right way.
In.
And they're staring at us. And we have burritos hanging out of our mouths. Incognito.
Oh my God. I was like, oh my God, it's open. It's open. Drive.
So then we leave the bank, okay? And we're so fucking dumb. We then go park in this parking lot that's adjacent to the bank. And it's like right on the side of the bank. And then the tellers get to leave for lunch.
Oh God, I forgot that part.
Listener, bear with me. I got to get through this. Then all the tellers that had just saw these crackheads with burritos back into the bank the wrong way, they all leave for lunch. And then they look across the street and they see us still eating bartenders.
Oh my God, I'd forgotten the tellers spotted us after lunch. I mean, it was so horrifying. Like, it was so bad. But we didn't give up.
No, we remained steadfast to the reconnaissance trip.
Right.
We doubled down. But listener, I share this because I want you to know that when you're being lied to and somebody questions your reality, you will get your best friend and you will get Taco Bell and you will get the fucking babysitter's car and you will back into a fucking open bank with 4 eyewitnesses.
To how crazy you are.
And we didn't crack anything big.
No.
But in this episode, we're kind of talking about the art of conducting an investigation on a lying liar significant other.
Lying liar who lies a lot.
And we have some guests that this is great shit, listener. These guests are private investigators out of the tri-state area, which is like New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
It is an all-female run PI firm. And our guest names are Bari, Kroll, and Jen Rosant. And they are going to join us because they have seen some shit, and I'm going to take a wild crack at it. I bet they wouldn't have backed into the open bank.
I bet they would not have. They might be just a touch better than we were at it.
They might be. They might be.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
We're great. How are you?
Good.
So I'm Jennifer, and this is Angie, but we call her Pumps.
Hello. Thanks for being here.
So we were just talking before you guys came on because one thing we were not very good at doing is picking spouses. We were both just abject failures.
Right.
Okay. My husband he was a rough diamond. I have shined the shit out of that motherfucker. He's fantastic now. But it took a long time to
About
get
20
there.
years.
And so we were just talking about, and I think that a lot of people can relate that you're in a relationship and your antennas go up and you're like, something's off. And then you talk to your spouse or your partner or, boyfriend, girlfriend, and they start saying, no, you're crazy. And so your reality is like completely cracked. It's just, it has no foundation. And so you go to these great lengths to try to confirm that you're not a crazy person because these antennas just keep going up. Enter the all-female sensation out of the tri-state area, Jen and Barry.
I love it.
And so
Awesome.
we conducted our own investigations.
Okay.
And we were really bad at it.
Really bad at it.
Really.
I don't think that's true.
We were.
We were pretty good on the phone records. You were.
I was really good. She really wanted to get her husband's phone records. And this was in like 2008-ish, maybe.
Early 2008,
They weren't-
2007.
So it
You
was
were still allowed.
Yes.
it was with his business, the phone records are with his business. And so she wasn't able to log in and see the call log. And I was like, I will get those fucking phone records, Pumps. And she goes, there's no way you're going to be able to. So we drive to the AT&T store. And as we're pulling up, she is so naive. Her husband's like office manager is pulling out. She goes, oh my God, look, there's such and such. And I go, well, he obviously just sent him to get the phone records.
I'm like, no.
You've been crawling up his ass to get the phone records. So I go in and she's like a nervous wreck. And I'm like, go into the AT&T store. And I'm like, hey, I work for this guy. And he's like so mean to me. And I was supposed to like completely do this expense report. And I messed up. And I lost the phone record bill that y'all sent. And can you please do me a solid and get it for me? I'm going to lose my job. Can you please do it? She printed the whole things. I walked out and just put them in her lap.
Right. It was unbelievable. And
That's awesome.
to this day, he and his company could never get those records because it was an overnight records. It was within 24 hours. And he never, ever, ever, they could never get him, but we got him. Jennifer got him.
We got him. So that was my most
That was your
ninja-
claim to fame.
That was the ninja move.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, that was a really good one. But what we want to hear from you all is what type of people hire you, and is everybody fucking around on everybody?
Okay. Well, I'll start with that. No, not everybody's fucking around on everybody.
Okay.
And it's people like you.
Right.
So the antennas are going up. They still, like you explained it perfectly. Reality is shattered. They're listening to their partner. The partner says, no, you're crazy. And they're like, am I crazy? It must be me. Keeps telling me I'm crazy. I have to be crazy.
Right.
And they are crazy. No offense. I'll tell you why. Because there are people that come to us. We will give them video of a sexual act, of whatever. They, without listening to their own spidey sense, their little antenna that go up, will go back to the partner and say, I hired this private investigator and she showed me, look, this video and you're getting a blowjob in the car. And he is. He's literally getting a blowjob in the car. And you know what? She calls me and she says, Barry, I don't know. I don't think you did a very good job. And I'm like, what do you mean I didn't do a good job? And she goes, well, I showed Tony the video and he said, your private investigator, it doesn't show us having intercourse. And I said, girl, I can't help you. I cannot help you.
done.
I cannot help you. So talk about reality shattered.
Right. And the gaslighting
won't.
ninja. But I think at some point, a person is, a true victim. But then after they are exposed to the truth, then they are a willing victim.
Right.
They are willingly
100%.
re-victimizing themselves. Initially, people are victims. But then when you're presented with the truth and you choose to keep going down that path and getting abused, you're being a willful victim.
Well, and I think part of the reason is you don't want to believe it. Like you will do anything not to believe it, because I do divorce law and we're a no-fault state, so we don't have to prove extramarital affairs or anything like that.
Same.
But it's just like they tell you these terrible stories about what their spouse has done to them and just terrible. And like, I go home and I worry, like, is it going to be okay? Is she going to be fine or is he going to be fine? And then the next thing you know, it's like, we're going to reconcile, da 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 da. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, I don't judge it because I've been that person before that wanted so desperately not to believe the truth. But it does become like you said, like you kind of get what you deserve. Not.
You become a willful,
like you become a part of it.
Participant.
You can't be helped.
It can't be.
People are
right.
there to help you. I tell people all the time, and I just had this conversation with a male client of mine who has been my client, young couple, since 2017. He is still, unfortunately, my client because, well, he's a puss. That's the first thing. Because, you have an affair with somebody who's like at a gym. And then, you're the one who had the affair says, well, I have to go to that gym. I love it. And you don't say, girl, if you go to that gym, we're done.
Right.
That's a problem.
Right.
You're done with the gym. There's a million other gyms that you can go to. You're done with this one. You're not going
that's
back.
so true.
Well, here's what I want to circle back to. And I know the listener wants to circle back to, and Pumps, I know you're going to want to. How do you get this footage of the BJ in the car?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
I mean, walk me down that path, Jen and Barry. Take us on a reconnaissance trip with you.
We're following this guy around, supposedly a cheating spouse. Follow him to dinner. Everything is good. They're enjoying their dinner, and they get into his Jeep, and I'm following behind them. I'm tailing them all through like
One
windy
question.
roads and
He's
streets.
with the mistress.
Yeah.
Yes.
At dinner, he's
Okay.
with the mistress. Okay, go on.
Yeah, she left her car at the restaurant.
Okay.
He got in the car. She got in the car, and we're driving, and they pulled into a park, and I pulled across the street because I have to be careful. I don't want to get made, but
Right.
I want to seal the deal. Like I want
Yeah.
to see action.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
So I'm driving around, and as I'm driving around, I turn the lights off on my car, and I drive up next to them, and I look, and all I see is from the reflection on the street. And the girl had blonde hair, and all I see is. I was like, I can't believe this. You know?
I think that specifically in terms of like getting the goods when someone's having an affair, unless the partner has spooked them in some way, like the person, my client, and I always ask them, unless my client has said to that person, I'm going to have you followed.
Right.
You're not going to get away with this. I got somebody to watch you, blah,
Right.
blah, blah.
Right.
Most of the time, they are in their own world. I literally pulled up in a parking lot, right in daylight, they were so into each other, pulled up right next to them, jumped in the back seat, and just filming right through my tinted windows in the back. They had no clue.
Yeah.
So I think that, when they're in their zone, they are not caring
not
about
looking.
what's going around them. So sometimes it's a little easier than you think it might be.
Than it
in
should
my
be.
experience. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's like you're all like nervous. They're like, they're probably on high alert. They're cheating.
No,
they're
they
doing
don't.
something wrong.
Nope.
Unless somebody has kind of tarnished it.
Which
in
they
some
all
way.
do. All the divorce clients, they rat themselves out before they do it. I am going to go through your phone and blah, 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 blah
Exactly.
at 5:00 tonight when you get, and I did it.
You were the worst.
I was the worst. That's why there's no judge. I was the worst.
Let me share a story with you. She would be a nightmare client. I got the phone records. I delivered the goods for her, but then she wouldn't fucking listen to me.
You blew it.
So-
you blew it, Pumps.
Her husband's out till like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. She calls me the next morning and she's like, he didn't get home till like 6 a.m. I'm like, that's not good. Whatever he's telling you, he's fucking lying. So she confronts him and he makes up the story that he's been at IHOP, okay? International House of Pancakes, with his buddies eating breakfast from 2 a.m. until 6 a.m., okay? I'm like, that's not true. She goes, well, that's what he said he did.
I love that.
And so then, it gets far worse. It gets far worse.
It gets worse, I have to say.
And so she said, I'm going to go up to IHOP and I'm going to talk to the manager and see if he was there. And I said, whatever you do, do not tell your husband that you're going to IHOP. She says, well, I already did. And I go, let me tell you exactly what's going to happen when you walk into IHOP. And she said, what? And I said, you're going to go up to him and you're going to ask him, was this guy in here? And he's going to say, yes, he sat there and this is what he ordered. And your husband and the manager are all going to have the same story because he slipped him a Benjamin. I mean, there's just no fucking doubt about it. So she calls me. She goes, I'm just leaving IHOP. And it's exactly what he said. Exactly. He had the scrambled eggs, the bacon, and the pancake. And I'm like, hello. Hello. Let me ask you this. Do you guys ever have like a total psycho like client? Well, I know they probably all are, but I'm talking extreme who's like, I think my husband has the potential to cheat. Will you catfish him and see if you can get him?
Oh.
Okay. We don't catfish, but we have had people that think that out of their mind, husband's cheating. I mean, there's some, that I got to tell you, that's more often than not.
Yeah.
More often they're not cheating or they're not cheating with a person. I mean, we had somebody not too long ago, like having a love affair with food. She was convinced he was cheating on her. She went through phone numbers on his phone, Pennsylvania number. It's got to be a woman. We ran the number. It didn't come back to anything. We couldn't get a hit on it. So we're like, oh, yeah, maybe she's right. And then the son would be like, Dad, going every Saturday and Sunday. Where are you going? Now the kid was 20. It wasn't like a baby.
Right.
I'm not that cruel. So, but it was an adult son saying, Dad, Mom wants to know where you're going every Saturday for 2 hours at a time. He's like, I'm not telling you guys. It's none of your business. So she's like, Harry, he's not telling me anything. She's like, he's definitely having an affair. I know who it is. It's this woman, blah, blah, blah. She's from Pennsylvania. He met her at work. She had a whole narrative. The narrative was set. Jen follows him.
I follow him all day. Barry's like, where's he going? I'm like, he left. First place he goes, he went to ShopRite. He comes out with food. Okay. He never brings it home, like a small bag.
Sitting in his car and eating the food. I said, all right, maybe he just needs a snack before,
Then he just sits there. And next thing you know, we're at a Chinese restaurant. And then a little while later, he grabs a slice of pizza. The final straw, I'm like, Barry, he pulled into McDonald's
and he got an ice cream
cone.
And he was eating it like, so
like,
she's like, Barry, there's something wrong with him. He just looks really depressed.
He was staring at
the ice. Yeah. Looking out his window. You don't know if he was staring at the ice cream.
Yeah.
So when you tell the wife, like, hey, here's the deal. He is up to no good. He's going to the Chinese restaurant and to McDonald's.
I said to her,
does she believe you?
Let him have snacks? I said, see, I swear to God, I said, he just drove around and ate. I said, do you let him have snacks at home? She's like, well, we're losing weight and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, And that was the end of her.
If you think your significant other is fucking around, from the time they call you to the time you've cracked the case and you've got blowjob footage, how much time has passed?
Depends how quick. My rule of thumb is I say we do surveillance, we plan on it for 3 consecutive days.
Okay.
So unless somebody's out of town or someone else is married and they only have certain availability going on, I say they will see that person within 1 to 3 days. Sometimes it happens the first day, within hours. That's it. It's done.
Right.
I had a case where a woman called me and she said, I had this other detective. We really didn't get anywhere, but where we did get was, my husband, I definitely think I thought he was having an affair. And he would always bring this suitcase with him. He would wheel the suitcase to work, from work, like whatever. And she said, one day the detective was like, well, why don't you just look in the suitcase? She's like, no, I don't want to. I mean, you do it. So she had this guy come into her house in her basement, look in the suitcase, and there was women's clothing in it. And she's like, oh my God, he's having an affair. There's women's clothing in it. And it got to the point where I started watching him because she was convinced that because she started finally going through the bag herself. And she said she would find shoes that were like a size 9, then it was a wig. I mean, shoes that were like size 11 rather, and a wig and clothing. And then she noticed her purses were missing. One day she was home and found pearls, like a necklace had broken. There were like pearls in the sink. So I watch him and she's like, I want to be done with him. And it turns into this whole blackmail scheme too, on top of everything else. So the guy was like loaded. He was a very He was like a very well-known professional in the area. Everybody knew him. They looked at them. They were like the king and queen of the town. And she said, I just want to have this marriage and I want my lifestyle and I got to get pictures of him. I think he's dressing like a woman. And sure enough, I was there one day, parked outside the house where she said to me, we set it up. I said, you go somewhere for the day. And she did. And sure enough, I'm at the house and I said, is your house for sale? Like, you expecting a realtor or something? She's like, no, I don't think so. He had come outside to show me who he was. All I saw was a woman with a wig on and tall woman, blue sweater. I remember to this day what he was wearing. Blue sweater, a black skirt, black tights and heels. Came outside, looked around, and I'm like, he is having an affair. Like, who's this woman? Because we weren't really sure what was going on at this point. So she comes home. I'm like, you got to go in the suitcase. You got to look in the suitcase and you got to see what's in there. It was the exact outfit and wig that I saw, a wig with bangs, a blue sweater. So he was cross-dressing and he knew I was there. Yep. He wanted me to see him. Yep. He started to get to the point where he was like exploring. Wow. And that was one of the weirdest cases that I had. That one was pretty bizarre. And then he ended up choking her and she stayed with him. So I don't know, like he got so flustered. She started like pressing him and questioning him, like what's going on? And he just got really frustrated. And one day he just choked her and I remember being in the parking lot of a Walgreens and she calls me at night and she's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, you got to go to the police. She's like, I don't trust the police. He's so well known. They all know him. They're going to think I'm lying. And they believed her and they arrested him. Wow. And then she took him back. So I don't know. That's one of those things you can't help.
Wow.
You don't know where to go with that. So
I mean,
still together.
Of course they are. We thought for a time that my ex-husband might be gay. We were calling.
Well, okay, so once we got the phone records, we immediately go back to, I think we're at my house, and this is like all printed paper, and we have highlighters, Marlboro lights, and I mean we have paper clips, staplers, and we are starting the system just of insanity. So her husband's an attorney, and he's sitting in the conference room, and there's like 10 to 15 people at the conference table, and she just starts calling the numbers one by one. She hits *67, so it'll be anonymous. And he's in a meeting, and this partner's phone rings, and it's a hang up.
Oh, God.
And then the person next to her rings, and it's a hang up. And then the next person rings, and it's a hang up. So she prank calls all of them.
And then he calls me and says, quit calling everybody. And I was like,
then this one number consistently ends up showing up. And so we say, oh, here it is again. Do you have the 243 number? Got the 243. And I have a stack. Oh my God, the 243 is again. Oh my God, it's the 243. And then it's like, that's like 7 calls in one day. And it's like April 14th. Well, it's his CPA. So we did, obviously she's divorced now, but we did our best to be badasses like you all. But if
you did a great job. Yeah.
I think the prank calling, that's iffy. We did back into a bank that was open.
Drive-through.
And were made by the tellers. You know, talking about being made.
Yeah,
we were made by all tellers. We thought the bank was closed and they had like a big.
You were made.
Yeah, we were made a lot. But with all of these new like tracking devices.
Right. It'd be so much easier.
Yes. You guys are amazing. I love the all-female vibe. You're both gorgeous. I love everything about it. I love this so much. I want you guys to do us a favor, and I want you to start thinking about some of your good cases. I think this could be a regular situation because this shit is so good because it's so relatable.
I was going to say it's so relatable.
And nobody, unless our listeners are like super functional.
Well, that would be
they're not. If they
There's
like
no
us.
such thing.
I know. If they like us, let's face it.
Yeah. Thanks for being on.
Bye,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you
See
so
soon.
much.
See you soon.
Okay.
We hope.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.
I think that is just the most enviable job.
But I do think it's interesting. 1 to 3 days. It's going to happen in 1 to 3 days.
1 to 3 days.
That's the limit.
But you think about it. These people are jonesing for it.
Right.
You know, 1 to 3 days and they crack the case.
It'd be a good job. Other than all the blowjobs you see. Ugh. Random men's dick. That's just not fun to watch. Take pictures of. Would you think it'd be enjoyable?
I mean, no. I just think like there's an excitement to. Is he fucking around? Is he fucking around? You go and then boom. Oh my God, she's given him a blowjob. Not, I mean, yes. I mean, that would be the happy ending to being a private detective.
For both of you.
Yes, for both the
subject
and for the private investigator. I'd be like, yes, I got the goods. Let's go.
They've probably seen a lot of creepy shit.
Yes, no doubt. No doubt. Well, listener, thank you so much for joining us. I think that was such a fantastic episode.
So fun.
Please voice memo to @I'veHadIt on Instagram and tell us if you yourself have fallen prey to a cheating spouse and what you have had it with, so we can follow up with a bonus episode on this.
Please listen, rate, subscribe, and like.
I think they're already listening.
Okay, yeah. Like.
Let's just skip over it. So see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Okay. All right. Bye. I've had it with that. I've had it. Had it. Had it. Had it. All I can say about that is I've had it.